up, misfits, one and all, to tonight's episode of Skeptic and Ranting. Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles?
Yes.
That's right. Where we indeed are watching a video from at least the source that I got it, Fox News, called former President Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA bottles. Bottles and Bibles. He was selling wine once, so sure, why not? Steak, wine, Bibles.
He doesn't drink wine. Never buy wine from somebody who doesn't drink. Yeah.
James, this is, and I have my monologue already, and I couldn't even get, it's like, he's selling a book that he hasn't read. He sells things that he doesn't have a taste or anything to do with.
Like
so much in this. Anyway, so much to unpack. Anyway,
von Ribbentrop, the Nazi Germany foreign minister who was a German wine salesman. But German wine is not known to be very good, so don't buy German wine. Yeah.
That's okay. I hear that they're very kinky. Maybe. Anyway, won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a time so good that it will be wrapped in a flag and carrying a deep-fried cross. That's right. Thank you for joining us on the intertubes. Oh, it feels so good to use my props again. I hope
for the other days.
That's true. On good days, once again, anything is a dildo if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
But we have been keeping busy. I am going to be uploading a premiere. So look forward to a lovely AMA. I'm sending love to Taco and the Politics Discord. Taco Tuesday. I forget which show or movie where it was like the family always had tacos on Wednesday. So it's just like, I'm just damn it. Sounds like a Paul Rudd kind of thing. But yes, please like, follow, subscribe. I said it, YouTube. You can let them go. But yes, also share if you're into that sort of thing.
Share.
Who doesn't love sharing? Sunny, share. Yes. Share a bag of Skittles.
Old Mickey Mouse bill that Sonny Bono was always famous for pushing through. He came up with a special bill to extend copyrights because he didn't want Mickey Mouse to hit public domain. So they passed it.
Really?
Yeah. His idea, because the Constitution says they can't be permanent, but he was proposing like a trillion year, like have contracts last a
trillion year. What is the Xenu laws?
Yeah. Or forever minus a day was another one he proposed.
Forever minus
he basically wanted a permanent, but he couldn't because the Constitution says they have to be limited time. So he would play around with like making them permanent without making them permanent.
That's such a fun concept because now I'm trying to think of, would you want forever plus a day? It sounds so much better. Why get minus a day?
Yeah,
so
minus a day.
We're playing with infinites.
It's not permanent. It's a day before forever.
But don't forget also, once you subscribe, you can get access to that bell icon that when hit to all, you can see our premieres and join our live streams. Like, what is up, everyone? What is up, Ian Davenport? What is up, Udif and Sinister? Mwah, mwah, mwah. And Captive Desk sending a heart, and Drew
Captain
and
Desk.
Davegar and Flum, everybody sending so much love. Mwah, mwah. Keep on saying hi, and we'll keep on saying hi to you. Just as Gizmo is saying hi,
Yes, he is.
our true producer. We will be showing the opposition viewpoint as well as the monologues, but atheist, theist, liberal, or conservative, after we give all of our spiels, please come as you are. The link will be in the chat. Going to coffee.
Or Genghis Khan, that would be a good one, because what is it? Like 10% of the world is somehow descended from Genghis Khan. He was so prolific at firing offspring.
The man was just shooting out all those sperms. Just reminds me of a scene from Fallout. Go check out the new Fallout that just came out. The remake of the game. And yes, many ways to support the show. You can send in super chats, and I will dance around. Mostly just because I like to dance around. Not really good at it, but you can do that and stuff. And then we also have super thanks if you're watching in the future. And I'm just sending you, James is just sending you thanks right now.
Thanks.
And then, exactly. Though we're not doing presuppositionals, James, I'm telling you, the contingency argument, it continues to be the hot thing among theists who don't want to defend their actual views.
Right. Is most of them.
Which is most of them.
They just had a Islam debate, a modern day debate tonight, so.
And
so
now
there's a lot of contingency being thrown around during that debate.
Well, they love their deistic arguments because they rely on the fact that most Americans admittedly haven't read the Quran. Why would we? Most of the Christians here haven't read the Bible. But I've read enough of the Quran to know that it's very silly. And that is what intrigued me, is that they make that claim about, how few of us have. And so you look into some of these chapters. My favorite is still the ant, because Solomon talks to ants. They make him laugh on his butt, and he commands them to do some things. And, it's like a lovely Pixar movie.
Like Richard Simmons, like commanding the ants, to do work. Yeah, Richard Simmons.
I'm pretty sure. Same thing. You can also join our evolving badge system.
But you think you're related to an ant, don't you? Don't you, Amy? Don't you? You think you're related to an ant.
I do not believe in the poof model of how animals came
Why is it so ridiculous to say an ant talk when you yourself believe that you're related to an ant?
Yeah, actually, the apologetic I get from Muslims most often is, well, you don't think that ants can talk to each other? It's like, I'm pretty sure that's not what we're talking
about. Not a normal dialogue like we're having.
Talk to a donkey. It's when the Bible says the donkey can talk to us. Like when we think that Shrek has become a documentary, that's when we start to think that things are a little weird.
No, they can't communicate complex ideas like language.
Well, and ants communicate mostly through pheromones. Yes, they communicate through sense and trails. And so, no, they weren't speaking English, Arabic, or whatever magical language that it would have been for Solomon.
Aramaic, Cantonese.
Yes.
Farsi.
Klingon.
Ancient Greek.
Probably not.
Esperanto.
What does the Mormons have? Reformed Egyptian.
Reformed Egyptian, yeah.
But yes, we have our evolving badge
The
system.
renowned Egyptologist Joseph Smith. Didn't you hear about all his scholarly work?
Oh, of course. Within a hat. Most people get their degrees from a hat. I get most of my information
the best
from
one,
a hat.
the best information, the best degree.
Some people are saying. But yes, evolving badge system, because they don't like it when things evolve. So we have our badges that just evolve over time. We don't worship time, though. Time is not something. It's not a god. They always try and look for
time
a
on this
higher
pacifier, and I give it to the atheists because they need time. Yes, they're
Time.
pacifier. Yeah,
I don't think so. But not only do we have our members sending love to all of our members with their membership and their names down below, but also our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. Do clickety clack. There we go. Where we can send out so much love, including many awesome supporters like Azo. Thank you so much, Azo, reminding us we have a Skeptic and Ranting community always here for you, boys, girls, and everything in between, because that somehow triggers
all
creationists.
57 genders. Welcome.
I know.
And come up with some new ones today while you're in the bathroom, Amy. How many genders did you make up today?
7. But then their god has to be male.
Day for you, a light day for you.
It has to have like a big old schlong.
Yes, absolutely.
And I also get apologetics for that. They're always like, well, don't men give seed so they're not the forebearers of life? Yeah, it takes 2 to tango in that equation. I'm pretty sure you just can't just spunk out into the world.
You wouldn't
and
want
then
Jesus
babies.
not to have a penis, would you? I mean, he can't have a vagina. That would be gay.
That would be gay.
Can't have a vagina. We don't allow women in our ministry here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the statements that we have covered from creationists
that
are just
in our ministry.
And it is. All these homophobic statements are so homoerotic. Somehow the more homophobic it is, the more homoerotic it is. Somehow they say things like, when you make a woman come as a straight male, it's actually a little gay because you're making her do something that a man would do, which is make someone come. However, what I truly think that just says is that he's just never made a woman come, because that's not a gender or sex thing. I don't know.
Not really one of his concerns. He's not really more interested or worried about that. So, yeah.
Well, it is always interesting. It's just the same with just to continue to tie the homophobia is homoeroticism. It is always just interesting to see some of the men who throw women under the bus and are highly misogynistic also turn out to not really be playing for that team anyway. And so
we replaced all your underwear with Speedos. Hope you like them. It's just our uniform around here.
James, we have to have a man's club to show how manly we are.
Gotta have Speedos.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to wear like sweatpants or anything.
Once when I was in college, okay? And that's a fantastic statement that I hope I can say often. I had a genderqueer femme girl and myself pulled aside into a dorm room, and we had 2 men strip for us in a strip competition because they said we were the 2 girls in the dorm room, so we had to be the judges.
You had to do it? 2 very straight guys, right?
Listen, James, I don't know what their sexuality was, because my sexuality is yes. Yeah. And so I'm kind of like an eraser in that I just try wherever those boundaries are. I'm just like squibby, 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 squibby.
Yes.
Listen, I just like to make things go tingle. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. All right, we drilled that thing home.
Yeah.
However,
what
listen.
college did Amy go to? Or which one did she not go to? That'd be an easier question to answer.
That's right. I did go to a few. It didn't stick the first time. I had to had to take the second or the third. So maybe a community, and then an expensive one, and then one kind of in between. It was Goldilocks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Patreons and channel members, supporters, just lovely people. As well as Dale Pastel sending so much love to Dale, reminding us we're looking for empirical evidence. I don't, if that triggers you, then they always say that's the one thing we can't ask for. How could you be asking for scientific evidence when
I know that's cheating? That's ridiculous.
This God is supposed to be everywhere and all powerful, but
That's
you
absurd.
want him to do something in a lab?
That's crazy. What are you smoking? That's ridiculous.
Yes. Apparently, they can make the ocean spread. They can resurrect a man and make some dude cut the moon in half. But making a bottle be lifted very hard.
Oh, I mean, God's got all this shit to do, and you want him to lift your fucking bottle? Like, he's holding every atom in the universe together. That's not enough for you? Holding the galaxies together.
Oh God, I just need to hold this galaxy up.
Because you guys just call it dark matter, but you don't know what it is. It's God. God is dark matter. He's holding everything together.
And that's what they do. They basically try to find anything that we kind of don't understand. And they're like, well, just call that God.
Yeah, dark matter. There's something there holding everything together. We don't know what it is. It's got to be God, right? The scientists don't know. Ask Neil deGrasse Tyson. He'll tell you he doesn't know what dark matter is. Yeah, he doesn't know.
They are placeholders because we just seem to be driven to that mathematically.
So if you got a place, you might as well fill that in with Jesus.
Jesus. Let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah.
And also, I agree. Davegar's like, those Patreons are such lovely
They are
people. Speaking of which, sending love to
Davegar, good to see you.
Reminding all of us the earth is round. A message sent to you by the internet. Internet. Yes, you can use it for a lot of things.
And if you've spent more than like an hour looking into it and you don't agree that the world is round, then you're an idiot. You're a moron. That's on you. I hate to be, it is what it is. There's something wrong up there that you can't see.
They all tend to just be contrarians. It's all people that they only accept things that they've done themselves, and the amount of experiments that they've done is zero, and yet they have very strong opinions.
Well, why would they do an experiment, Amy? It might prove I'm wrong, and that would be like, why would the flat earthers who have money, why would they buy an expensive balloon and send it up high enough to see the curvature? Because if that sent them back video of curvature, then they wouldn't be able to believe the earth is flat anymore.
They also every once in a while do fund one of themselves up, and then they shoot themselves at a rocket, and the rocket tends to be, well, not very effective, and then we mourn.
Little rocket man, Kim Jong-un, sending those rockets up there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's just conspiracies. They are. Speaking of which, the Earth being 6,000 to 10,000 years old, also crazy. I will continue to say this as equally crazy as a flat Earth. It is 99% off.
Roughly the same.
If someone told you you had $6,000 in a bank account because someone had just given you a sign-on bonus, or you had $4.5 billion in a bank account because of a sign-on bonus, would you feel a little bit differently about James? Those are basically, if you think about it, I mean, six to 10,000 is kind of a big number.
If you had like $4.5 billion in your account, you could buy lots of stuff on drdino.com. Like, you could go wild on his site. You could clog him up with orders for years. It would take him to fill all those orders.
The other person,
how many DVDs you can get for $5 million? That's a lot of fucking DVDs.
The other person I'd like to take pot shots for selling things is that the MyPillow guy, another scam artist who just hawks whatever.
Has anybody ever actually had a pillow? Like a pillow like that? A MyPillow?
The MyPillow? I have never had a
MyPillow. I refuse to spend more than like $10 on a pillow.
On a pillow.
My ex used to say, like, oh, this is an $80 pillow. If you spend $80 on that pillow, then, okay, enjoy it. But I don't really think it's that much better than a $10 pillow. Anyway.
I can say that my pillow is made out of 100% pillow.
Polyester. What's the difference? Is it just the way it's fluffed, or I don't know? Never mind.
The only difference I know in pillows, this is my level of pillow expertise, which is you have Pillow Classic, and you have whatever what the hell is the new thing, the foam that expands,
memory foam.
You have memory foam and Pillow Classic, or as we call it, pillow. But Rachel uses the memory foam, and I just have one. And I have one that's thinner. They're both good. I can pass out with either one. What's
it's davegar says he tried it. It's okay. How much are they? Is it like $60 for a pillow? That's way outside of what I would ever be willing to spend on it. Or maybe now he's got a discount on that. I don't know.
Get a discount at 4 a.m. for typing in my pillow crack discount.
Guzzler 69.
See, now I'm just doing jokes that I have in the back of my head from Jimmy Kimmel, who always makes fun of him. It probably. I think we have a memory foam pillow that's probably like the exact same as the MyPillow pillow. That guy and these grifters in general, the same people that sell to poor rural people, which is like the weird irony in that, these people have nothing in common with the people that they're selling it to. I don't understand why the rural people defend them so much.
You know what the worst though is the one that really, and you can't watch YouTube for more than like 5 minutes without running to 5 of them. Like, Amy, did you know there's a government program where you could get $1,400 a month for rent, groceries, and bills? And they're hiding it from you. It's right there. Everyone qualifies. You make under $80 an hour. I bet you do. So therefore, you qualify.
Can I tell you something, James? I just want to know how you're going to get your free range testosterone.
Yeah,
that's what I'm pretty sure. We all need to get out there.
All YouTube advertising is either two things. It's either those scam ads, or fucking BetterHelp trying to sell you fucking therapy. So you lose all your money to these scam ads, and then you can go to therapy that you won't be able to afford anyway. And but it's just online therapy, so it's not real therapy. You're just talking to a webcam to some guy in Bangladesh, and you can tell your problems to them. Yeah, makes sense.
And
healthcare,
of
modern health. Modern healthcare in the United States.
Well,
we will gladly pay more. We will gladly pay more just to know that there are some people who don't have access to healthcare because we are special, we are elite, we get this benefit, and there are other people they don't get it. They can't just go to the doctor when they're sick because they don't have that kind of insurance. But you see, we are special. We are valued by the economy because our employer pays money every paycheck so that we can do that. So if everybody could do that, then we would be special, right?
Yes, exactly. What makes us number one is that we don't have the number one healthcare. That actually is what makes us number one, James. If you think about it.
But Amy, you know, the guy in Canada, he had to wait 6 weeks for this procedure
I
that I
know,
can get
I
done
hear
in
you.
1 week.
They had to wait 8 months for a heart. No, they did. It's
Okay,
always
so
about priority. They look
yeah,
at what type of surgery it is, and if it is a surgery that
elective.
you need to be exactly. If it's an elective surgery, you may have to wait a little bit longer. If it's something that you need to be seen in a short, specific
Need your
window,
appendix
the
taken out,
doctors are going.
or
Yes,
you know, yeah.
I
We
it,
prioritize based on money. So if you got the money, you get seen whenever you
yes.
want. If you don't have
Now
the money,
listen,
you don't get seen.
I know at this point there's a bunch of people out there. It's already an anti-Trump episode that are like, these fucking commies. Listen,
Basically,
I'm fine with you hawking your shit so people can run up their credit card. Not really, but I'm not coming for your credit card.
that's low on the list of priorities.
Let everyone have their stuff. You know what we can also have? Healthcare. We pay taxes. Why don't we actually choose where it goes? We do it with other things, but no, this one thing. I know, James. I might as well put a pink commie star, but
Why not?
we'll keep on taking the paycheck. But
Well, I mean, they were. I remember like they were gloating. Like was it like '94 when Canada did theirs, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at the people! Look, the emergency rooms are swamped, and you can't get appointments." All the because there's a bunch of people who haven't been able to go to the doctor in years. Now they can go, so it's going to be a backlog of people. Okay, but a year or two later, was it like that? No, things eventually reached equilibrium where you could get an appointment without waiting 6 months. You know.
and it's not because the doctors and the nurses won't get paid. I do believe that the doctors and nurses, if we change the system, will continue to be professions that are looked at with respect and ones that we pay well. You know who it's going to gut, James? Insurance companies.
The middleman, yeah.
That is who really is lobbying to keep all of the red tape and all of that shit.
Well, I got an idea, Amy. I got an idea. Okay, so you pay me a certain amount a month, and then when you go to the gas station, I actually pay for your gas, right? And he's like, well, okay, why can't I just go to the gas station and pay for my gas when I need to? Well, but then I wouldn't be able to take a cut of that. I like taking a cut. Well, wouldn't it be more efficient for you not to take a cut? Well, yes, but I like to get paid. I need money too. So, you can pay me $200 a month, and I'll spend like 170, 180 on gas, but the rest I get to keep. It's just only fair.
And what do you do? Oh well, I take a cut
around. I move money around. That's what I do.
Yes. What's up, God equals the square root? We are talking kind of. I mean, I have my own everyone has my views about the R&J hole. And, I believe this is just my own personal. I'll ask James, how he feels about him, I guess, in general. But, he's not a Republican. He's not a conservative. And so we're in this weird era where an apatheist, I don't think that he is, which, once again, if you're an apatheist about politics, I understand. I was one for most of my life. And yet he is selling himself as a religious conservative and also giving them what they want. And so it makes him, in a weird way, very dangerous in my eyes. More dangerous than an actual religious conservative. Because religious conservatives comes with all this dorkiness and all this other stuff that normally sets them back. Where Trump is a fucking New York guy. He gets to look like a fancy businessman, even though he's really an idiot businessman. But he gets to, I guess, this because I just listen to what they tell me, come across as their guy. It's yes, he's an insider, but he's our insider.
Yeah, well, he's not a traditional. He's not a traditional Republican. That's right. And but you know, the traditional Republican Party hasn't been doing very great either. You know, in a lot of areas, they're
oh sure,
they're
well, the religious conservative model. I think this is their last. I mean, they have in essence made a deal with the devil themselves. They have signed each other because. I don't think he's religious. I would actually be willing to bet he may be an atheist. I can't tell. I can't be in his head. And I'm not just saying that because I dislike him, because I almost say that begrudgingly. Yeah, it's like this weird thing where I never wanted it to be this way. I thought he was an asshole ever since he sued a comedian. It's personal ground for me. And so, you know, he's just thin-skinned. The number one thing that his fans seem to say is he tells it like it is. That's what also that bothers me, because I think one of the number of things that the people who really hate him dislike about him is that he is a liar. People like to say pathological liar, but I'm not even going to do my two-word thing. He's a liar. And so, yeah. And I know they say all politicians lie.
Well, they do.
But if all politicians lie, and he's just like everyone else, then how is your pitch that he's different than everyone else?
So all politicians posture, right? They have their version of something that may not be 1,000% accurate, objectively speaking, but this is the narrative they're going with. Obama did it, Clinton, they all do it. And it's just with Trump, they've actually said, no, that's not posturing. That's a lie. The other presidents, they would kind of just begrudgingly like, okay, yeah. Like Obama talking about the drone program and all. And, you know, the posturing behind that a lot of people on the left really didn't like. But, yeah, they kind of just did it.
He was not good on that. He was kind of not humanitarian. So that... Right. On at least that option, I still think he was a fairly good president.
Oh, I think overall he was a good president. It's just the politics of it and how you know the media from day one, like they set their agenda to derail the Trump. They're going to just hit him hard on everything. Maybe you think, oh well, he deserves it. He's an asshole, so that's good. They should take sides and just hammer him for everything. And okay, maybe that's justified, but it's definitely something new that we never saw in politics before. The media having like a stake in the race, not even pretending to be neutral, just saying, we hate this guy, we want to derail everything he does, and we want to make him look as worse. In fairness,
he said many things. He's attacked the press. He says that the press is the enemy of the people. Yeah. He has done many authoritarian things to I understand maybe some saying that maybe they go.
It just never happened before. Maybe you think he's just so beyond the pale.
That they cover him is because he's a reality television star, and that's what he wants. Like, it's a self-fulfilling thing that he wants to be covered, and he does crazy shit, and their news cycle is about covering crazy shit. And so, in a weird way, they want each other. CNN doesn't have a liberal bent. CNN is a bent towards money. And what they want is breaking news. They want those two words over and over and over.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that maybe they've overdone it a little. I think they've still been mostly fair. I think he brings it a lot on himself.
Okay, so he is just that bad. He's beyond the pale. He doesn't deserve like the normal benefit of the doubt. Maybe.
What do you mean deserve the benefit of the doubt?
Well, like if Obama said something, they would be very reluctant to call him a liar, even if maybe technically it was a lie, because he's not. He's got his position on it, and out of respect, we're not going to say you're like. Remember during the State of the Union when the guy got up and called him a liar, and they were like, oh, like it was like unheard of. You don't get up and call the president a liar in the middle of a speech like that. Even though I think they all do it, it's just completely different. Yeah.
Okay, so here's an example. Trump says that he won the 2020 election. Sure. Do you think that's the same as other politicians?
No, I think he should have conceded the election. I don't think he should have drug it out as long as it went. No, that was a big mistake.
I think that there's numerous time where he was caught lying.
Do I think at some level he believes he might have won the election? Or do you think he knows full well he didn't win and he doesn't care? He just wants to. You think he knows full well he lost the election?
He tried to cheat. He tried to create votes. And the only reason that you try to create votes is because you think you don't have enough.
Create votes? What do you mean?
Well, he tried to put pressure on electorates to, quote, find votes. So one of the cases that he is in right now is election fraud.
So, I mean, this kind of is touching on we rarely had this like before the election 2000 where the vote counting got completely politicized, and it's kind of just been a modern thing in the modern era.
I mean, it's
where so from the other perspective though, so you have and they're going to say, yeah, it's justified, that's how it happened, but after election day you had Trump with not overwhelming, but not insignificant leads in like a whole bunch of states. Every single one of them he lost. And you say, well, yeah, the mail-in vote, he lost every single one of them. But had it gone the other way, I think the other side would have had, like, how did Trump win all these states that Biden was ahead on? You think they would have just accepted, okay, I guess all the mail-in votes were for Trump, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. I think that's what happens. I think that people like Hillary concede the next day, just like Al Gore conceded. I think that they have a conspiracy theory mindset.
Conceding. He didn't concede right away. I mean, they drug that out pretty much further than it's ever been drugged before. No, Gore did not concede right away. He did not concede right away. There was intense court battles and recounts that went well into December. I know, because down here in Florida,
I know it was about that, but even then, that's like a month. It's still how many years, and he's still saying that the election was stolen.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't understand how he can be both different and yet he acts like everyone else, yet he's different. Well, no, he's not different. He's an establishment politician who says politically correct things. He says things that they want to hear. He doesn't have any of those values, so it's very easy for him to say it. Does he care about a wall? Not really. Did it get a good reaction? Yeah. So let's say it again. Let's keep saying it.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say he doesn't care about a wall.
If they booed the wall, he wouldn't stop. He would stop making the wall. That would be the end of the wall. Because, like a comedian, he plays the audience.
That's impeding on the regular. Yeah, of course, politicians, they don't want to say things the crowd isn't going to like. Doesn't mean everything they do is,
Sure, but the point is he doesn't care if immigrants come. Like, if he thought that people would like it, if he thought getting elected, illegal immigration was a view that he thought would get him elected, he'd be pro-illegal immigrant.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think he. I mean, that goes into demagogue. You're saying he's a demagogue, and
well, no, he just doesn't have. So you can see it, or as in he's hired illegals.
Well, I mean, that's like you're impinging on that's like how Hillary Clinton ran her campaign. It's just whatever the polls said she was for, because that's how Bill Clinton ran his presidency, and the media loved it. They loved it. He always went with just whatever the popular thing was. He never would take a stand like an unpopular position or anything like that.
And I would say that's what Trump does, but within a room. He will take whatever the position is within that room.
He's still getting hammered for it by the media, but
because right now he's partying up with the far right. Whether he is far right or comes from that background, probably not. He comes from the Northeast.
What segment of the far right you're talking about? There's the far right business interests, and then there's the far right. There's the far right social conservatives that.
Well, he seems to be buddying up with the social conservatives right now.
Right. He's always been leaned more towards them and less towards the entrenched business interests of the far right, which is why like the Koch brothers and people like that don't like him, because
well, he's a terrible businessman, and so
they don't care about his businessman. They care about his policies and how it affects them.
Sure, but I think they would want someone more steady. But yes, for some reason he seemed to make this pact with religious conservatives, the social. He's going after abortion. I hope now he start trying to back off, because this abortion bill from Arizona, which came back from pre-Arizona days.
Pre-Arizona?
Yes, it's a law that is enacted before the state was a state.
Well, I mean, I think that's pretty much been the consensus on the right on that issue. Was for the longest time it was applying democracy to the issue, let it go back to the states. Now there have been a pocket on the other side who took the opposite extreme position, say no, it should be federalized as a federal blanket ban, but that's not really what most of them have been pushing for. They've just been.
But Arizona now has a blanket ban.
Well, a federal ban, a federal blanket, federal ban. Yeah.
And one day I'll understand the states' rights. Well, I mean,
it's just how it works is you get to impose your views on others, but you wouldn't want others to come into your state and impose their views on you. It's okay when it's the other way around, but you don't want people from Mississippi coming into Delaware and telling you guys what your laws need to be and how you have to run your state, right? But you're happy to go into Mississippi and tell them, okay, you need to do this, this, and this. This is what your laws are. I don't care what your laws are. Yeah.
It's true. I am happy. I think it should be federally legal. I think that's what the push is going to be, and what we will eventually get once we have a Democratic Senate or a full Congress.
They abolish the filibuster, maybe.
Because I don't think that the way they look at it is just like you said. States' rights is, you don't want to tell someone what to do, and you shouldn't look at it that. But what they really are saying is, Don't come into my state and tell me that I shouldn't allow people to do things. I should be able to ban people and not allow people to do things. And you shouldn't be able to come in here and make me let people do things. That's what it actually is.
Well, like, they actually had to amend the Constitution to allow federal laws like civil rights. That was not like something that the Congress automatically had the authority to do. So we had to pass the Reconstruction Amendments to allow them to do that, to ban things like segregation and
Sure.
and things like that. They did that. I think everybody's glad they did. It's just very hard. Constitutional amendments are not easy to pass.
Oh, sure. And it's going to take a little bit to probably pass a federal law on it. I think that the liberals had taken it for granted. And so they're kind of recalculating. And
but I mean, it's going to be legal in virtually every state by democracy, aside from maybe 5 to 10 extreme right states. So your plan is we are going to march into those 5 states and tell them this is what you have to do. Yeah. But
that
if
is the goal.
on the other foot, you wouldn't like it on the other way.
That
You're
is
just
correct.
Say, well, we're betting that that'll never happen. So hey.
Well, no, I just think the other way is immoral. And so I think that if you're forcing people to, it's saying that you wouldn't like it if someone gave you health care, and then you're like, well, you wouldn't like it if someone took health care away from you.
Sure.
It's like, you're right. That is true. That's the opposite thing. So yes, I think that if you don't want an abortion, all you have to do is not get an abortion.
Well, who decides that which issues go federalized? Be just taken out of, like, democracy doesn't apply to this. We don't care what you think. This is just how it's going to be. Well,
sure. I guess it would depend issue to issue. So do you think that the right for a woman to vote should be state to state?
Well, no, there's a constitutional amendment for that.
Yeah, but I don't see the difference. Why wouldn't you have a right to have an abortion?
Because constitutional amendment, if they want to pass an amendment to the Constitution, they're more than welcome to do that. I just think that the procedural hurdles for that
make that's a legal argue. That's not really a moral argue. Like, why should we force?
I'm making a. We're talking about government and how laws are made.
Sure.
And there are different levels of.
But this is why we should have people with guns come in and say you can't force people to not have them and their doctor have a procedure, because that is kind of their right. And so we're going to come in here and protect them. Isn't that what we should want? And we wouldn't want the opposite. That is what we want.
But if it came to the opposite, you wouldn't really like it. Like, you want the Mississippi legislature to run your state and just say, well, we got the votes for it, so that's what we're going to do. What's even the point
I'd
of
say that's immoral
states if everything is federalized? We have different states because people have different values and opinions and different belief systems. We don't all hold the same values and belief systems, so there has to be some give where you have to accept that there will be certain things in other states that you personally aren't a huge fan of, but you respect the people there enough to respect their will and their
sure.
ability to self-govern. They're not like infantile.
But I don't see any reason for that with abortion. They would have to have a reason for abortion, just like the women's right to vote. They would have to actually have a reason. For why.
So that just goes, okay, if I deem the reason is acceptable, then you can have democracy. If I don't believe the reason, then you don't get democracy. I make the decision for you.
So I don't get it. So why? What is about the woman's right to vote that's different from the abortion?
In terms of like the right to vote, that's basically you have to be able to vote to have a functioning democracy, right? I don't think having 50+% of the population not having the right to vote would be very healthy for.
But you're okay with
democratic
that
system.
being statewide. I don't understand why some things, or should I say nationwide? I don't understand why some things can't be nationwide and why some things can be state to state.
Well, you can put things federalized if you can eclipse the very heavy hurdle of passing a constitutional amendment. You can do that. It's been done before. It's just very difficult. And
sure, but that's just a time scale. That's when they have enough, when the numbers, then you can get an amendment. But I still keep on trying to press it.
Requires a significant hurdle. You have to have a very broad-based consensus over the whole country that this is something that we can't allow democracy on.
But we had that already. We already had that. And that seemed to be, as in we had Roe v. Wade. And our society seemed to be just fine. No one was losing out on any rights. And so it doesn't seem if we go back to that, like anyone will continue to lose any rights.
I mean, you're just saying, well, we had it the way we wanted it. Why couldn't we just keep it the way we wanted it? Okay. I mean, that's the whole argument is
not broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
Well, again, they would say it is broken. It's allowing for these things that they think are terrible. So they have a right to politically organize against it.
Oh, I don't think that they shouldn't have a right. I just think that the push will be to eventually get a federal, make it federally legal. I think that is going to be like they'll fight state to state.
There is,
I think the eventually, I think that is where the eventual goal is going to be, just like it was. We shall see.
Democracy
and republics.
You gotta admit though, if you want democracy, you have to accept that sometimes that will go against your wishes, and you can't say, well, when it goes with what I want, then it's okay. When it doesn't, then we can't have it. It's
sure, but it's not just about
the good with the bad.
My subjective wishes. It's just there has to at least be good reasons why they would be able to force someone else to do the things that they want to do.
So the reasons you think are it is your subjective reasoning. It's you deem their reasons insufficient to do what they want to do, whereas they would say no. We do have good reasons. That's a disagreement, right? That's
would
not
you be able to give me one of their good reasons?
I'm not going to debate that right now, right here. I'm not taking a position like that. I'm taking a pro-democracy position,
and I would say that if you don't have a reason to take someone's rights away, it's not a pro-democracy.
Again, you're smuggling in the term rights because you're making it a right, whereas they would say no, it's not a right because it doesn't come from the inalienable rights of the Constitution. So it's not an absolute right. It's a political.
Sure. But then that's just a time scale. Once we get it onto the Constitution, then it just becomes a right.
Then do it. But
that is the goal.
Well, we'll just have the Supreme Court say it's in the Constitution, even though it's not, and we'll just act like it is. And then 50 years later, something's being taken away from people. Well, I mean, you guys. That's why you say the Russian the vote to annex Crimea was invalid because the Russians went in there and they took the land first, then they had the referendum. The Supreme Court did that first, and then we went 50 years, and now it's like something's being taken away from people.
I do not see how the Roe v. Wade is connected in any way to them having a junk referendum in Crimea after they invaded.
Because it's doing something first and making that the status quo, getting everybody used to that, and then to go back now something's being taken away from it. It's like if you lived in your apartment for 20 years without having to pay rent because the landlord never came and asked, and all of a sudden they came by and said, hey, by the way, you haven't been paying rent. You like, well, what do I
have a better analogy. It's like you have the right to vote, and then someone's like, we decided state to state we're going to decide. We think this is democracy, and so Mississippi doesn't think that you should be able to vote.
Well, there are certain rules where states like felons' rights, where if you're a convicted felon, you do not have an absolute right to vote. There are states that strip felons of the right to vote. Should that be federalized, where they say no, everybody has a right to vote, like the Bernie Sanders having voting machines in prisons? I mean, I think that it's an open question of whether that should be left to the people to decide.
Sure, I think the people should decide. We should have it,
Right.
and if the people decide to get it, if they are against it, then they will not get it.
And you guys you're going to get what you want. It's just going to be the ability to let a few on the extreme opposite have things have the same respect that they give you for you to respect them. Yeah.
I don't want that kind of respect. That's not the kind of respect that I want. I find that trampling on people's rights.
Well, they respect you enough to respect what you want to do in your state. And they don't propose to come in and say, well, we don't like this, we don't like that, we don't like this. You guys don't have a good enough reason for that.
Wait, which group are we talking about? Because if it's the group I'm thinking of, then that's all they do. That's generally what they do.
They're coming into Massachusetts and banning abortion. Is that is that on the agenda? Is that something? Are they planning on doing that in a state where there's probably 94% support for it? No, that's not.
No,
really
they're going into the states that are heavily conservative and who need it the most.
Well, gotta understand that there's going to be something you disagree with that they have the right to do.
But that's what I'm trying to convince them of. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean you can ban it. Yeah. Doesn't that make sense? Just because you don't like a thing doesn't mean you can ban it.
Well, I mean, I would, me personally, I would legalize 90% of drugs out there, but I think it's stupid to keep them, the prohibitions that we have. I don't think it's effective. I don't think it works, but
for most respects, I agree with that, because I think it would cut the cartels in half. I think that if you allow regulation, then things get safer.
Prices come down. You let the market work and drive prices down. It wouldn't be so devastating to our economy. People wouldn't have to break into their neighbor's truck, steal a stereo to go get what they need, because price would come down, or people wouldn't have to become homeless because they spent all their mortgage on something.
Well, and they wouldn't cut it with other drugs as well. You would have safety protocols.
You could have. Well, most of this started when they took a non-ideal situation and they tried to stamp it out. They tried to make it absolutely ideal, and it blew up in their face. And nobody's got the foresight to see it. And that was when 2009, 2010, when they rode in and shut all the pill mills down. And surprisingly enough, Amy, all those people who were taking the pills, they did not all just sober up and become normal, productive members of society. That didn't happen. Although that's maybe what they thought would happen. They were all just sober up and get jobs and it would be fine. No, they moved on to substances like fentanyl and heroin, which are much more dangerous. And then we had a huge spike in overdose deaths. But somehow the root of the problem is the pharmaceutical industry. They started it all, I guess. I don't know. And so that's how we eradicate the problem, is by telling legitimate patients to suck it up so that we can shore up the supply so that the drug cartels can make more money by selling fentanyl. Yeah.
So we should just cut them at the heel. All right, let's agree. Let's agree on that point, and then keep on sending love, davegar. Sending love to Rachel Holen. Thank you so much, Rachel, reminding us you shouldn't get slaves from the nations around you. Just go to a BDSM club. Find a femboy. Sending love also to Chris Disciple, reminding us we have Christians, Muslims, Jews within the Skeptic and Ranting community. Come one, come all, as long as you're skeptic about your beliefs. And then the two amazing, last but not least, we actually have this on deck. We were going to do that, and then I couldn't help it. I ended up doing both the AMA and then wanting to do this because it's topical, and I want to try and do it while it's fresh. But we have a Skeptic Bible study. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Come check it out as we read the Bible cover to cover. Thank you, Reid. And last but not least, thank you so much, Ian Davenport, reminding us that we get bad apologetic arguments. They really, yes, they've had thousands of years, and yet somehow they're all terrible. But thank you so much, supporters, all the love that you give us. And yeah. All right, James. In a second, I'm probably going to be right back. And then I'll do my opening, which is short. And then, yeah. I'll say one more thing, and then I'll clear house on my moderation. Because all of the things that I've said about abortion, I still want to lower abortions. I still think that that's a goal that we should be working on. It's not about that. It's more of a freedom type of thing. That's my olive branch out there, is that it's not just about woo. It's just about where freedom is and then what we can also work for. Because I have sci-fi things that I think we should move toward, like artificial wombs and things like that, which would end the problem entirely. But I just had to put that out there while we're talking about it. But that's the last I'll say. James, I guess we'll go right back to it, unless you want to say something else about that. But we are talking Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. I would not be doing an orange one topic. I really don't want to give him attention because that's the oxygen that he wants. However, this has finally fallen on our territory. Well, he's hawking the invisible product.
I'm going to nail you, though. I'm not going to let you weasel out of another Alien episode. We're going to do it at some point. Like,
fine.
Rachel's got a root canal in the morning. Got to go to bed. Bye. What?
That's right. It's at 3 a.m.
Yeah. So
no, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But okay, on that note, aliens. I'll be right back, James, and then we'll do it to it.
So I wonder how many of these Bibles they're selling. My guess is going to be not very many. In terms of like fundraising, don't panic because Biden is still raising much more money. He's got, I think, double the campaign contributions. So if you want to get money out of politics, it's not happening this time anyway. All campaigns, they sell stuff. They sell overpriced merchandise. It's really not so much the value of the merchandise so much as it is a donation to the campaign. You're just getting a little something back for it. So if you go buy, a cup for $15 that really was made in China and costs like $3, well, I mean, you are getting the cup, but your money is primarily going to fund your candidate. So, yeah, this is hey, you get a Bible. They've all got Bibles, all these Christians. I still probably have like 4 or 5 laying around here from my time in religion. Every once in a while, I'll find another one I even forgot that I had, a Bible that I'll have laying around from the 30 years I spent as a Christian. But this is probably like a special edition. I don't know. It's got his picture in there. Did he write like a foreword? Did he significantly add to it? Probably not. This is you're not paying for the value of the merchandise. This is a financial donation to his campaign, and just getting a little trinket. What was that like when we saw the Bob Larson episode one time? Like the things that he was selling at the inflated prices that he was selling it. You're not paying for the value of what the thing is. It's primarily supporting his ministry, if you want to call it that, giving him lots of money for some little trinkets that really aren't worth very much at all. But hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, and that's money in politics. Get the money out of politics. So it's never going to happen, at least not in the near future. Money plays a bigger role more than ever, and you got to wonder why things never really change greatly. That's because money interests the people vested with in that. You have to tell yourself that things are the way they are, not randomly, not by happenstance, or that's just the way things worked out. Largely, things are the way they are because somebody wants it to be that way. Some people like it. That's why things are the way they are. It's not random. It's because those people in control are getting what they want. They are getting the outcomes, by and large, that they want. And largely, the people, unfortunately, seem pretty impotent at being able to significantly change that. Like, we have basically thrown our hands up and said we're not really going to get any substantial action on climate change until the boomers die. Basically, that's it. We have to wait for them to die off because they've already made the conclusion that, 99% of them will be dead before any of the really catastrophic effects start to take hold. So they're not willing to sacrifice anything to help the future of humanity. So there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. Any major action on is completely not politically viable. The money earned, they are threatening to tank the economy if we would do anything. So we do nothing. We can't have anything. Like we can't have universal health care in this country. Like we talked about, we can't do it. Because the money interests, well, they have health care. They're getting the care they need. They don't care. And, why would they want to pay more so that people who are much lower on the socioeconomic scale can do things like go see a doctor when they get sick? They don't care. And so, even in liberal states, by the way, even in liberal states like California, which, while Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor, the legislature routinely passed single-payer health care bills. They did it like 4 or 5 times because they knew he would veto it, because they knew it wasn't going to happen. But now, as soon as there's a Democrat governor, well, they can't seem to get a bill out of the legislature for Gavin Newsom or was the previous Governor Brown. Governor Brown, they can't get a bill out for them to sign. Why? Because they were never actually going to do it. They would only do it if they knew it would fail. They would not force Gavin Newsom to veto it, but at the same time, they're not ready to actually implement it and be serious about that. We could do it. We could. Virtually every other nation on the planet has figured this out. But things are the way they are because the people in control want them that way. They're getting what they want. They are not the people who are donating money and the politicians, give them one-finger salute, blow them off, and do the exact opposite of what they wanted. So that's why nothing really ever seems to change in our system. And the appeal of somebody like Donald Trump, a lot of people struggle to understand that, is because he represented, or at least purported to represent, a break from that. All the politicians, all the real politicians, they really didn't like him at all. The extreme right, the extreme left. The extreme right didn't like him because they have been going crazy with free trade since the late 70s, early 80s. And Donald Trump is not for free trade. They've made a lot of money off of free trade. They have made billions, trillions off of free trade. And the idea of changing that is not something they would be willing to do. So that's why actually, you're seeing a lot of, you saw it last cycle too, lots of people on the business right saying they are not going to vote for Donald Trump. They would rather vote for the Democrat, who they probably disagree with more. They just consider certain things about Trump to be unacceptable, like his positions on trade. Why do we have massive immigration? Because the people like it. The people up at the top want it. They will tell you that, yes, bringing in millions of low-skilled workers is actually better for people in the workforce without college degree. Don't expect us to explain that to you. It's way more complicated than that, but you can talk to the economists. They'll tell you how great it is that we bring in lots of low-skilled workers. That actually makes wages go up for people, in low-skilled jobs. I don't think anybody really believes that, but yeah.
I like the conservatives to actually stand up to him. I'm okay with the Hawks, the Liz Cheneys of the world.
Oh, the war side. Well,
once again, I don't want to go to war. I just want people to actually stand up to his bullshit. And so he's taken over this party, even though he doesn't really care about politics. He just wants attention. And so,
I mean, I have to say it would be nice not to go into war, to send troops into other countries. That is overall nice.
I'm all for
good.
That's a positive.
Russia did not invade Ukraine on his watch. The fall of Afghanistan did not happen on his watch.
When did he take over Crimea?
2014.
Was it 2014?
It was Obama's watch, yeah. I believe so. Don't quote, I believe 2014. The annexation of Crimea. Ask Syria.
Yeah, it was 2014.
Yeah. And what do we do at that point? Because
but I mean, that's not. What is that supposed to say, though? Because no other country invaded, that makes him a good leader in something.
Something bad didn't happen on his watch. I mean, maybe you think that was just dumb luck and coincidental.
On his watch.
Maybe you think, hey, it's just dumb luck. Okay. But if it happens,
he's also friendly. He also was friendly to our adversaries, and so if we don't get in wars when we're friendly with the people that we.
How friendly? How so? Define friendly. He went and shook Kim
likes
Vladimir
Putin.
What did you do to like Vladimir? He didn't attack Vladimir Putin, or what define like Vladimir Putin? He says nice things about him. Doesn't
says that he is a great leader.
Okay. All right. So he says things about Vladimir Putin you don't agree with, but again, going to war with Vladimir Putin is not something that I think anybody really wants to do.
So invaded Crimea, says that he's a great leader, compliments him. I just don't get how that's a point. Like, Israel and Palestine is been fighting for 50 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the president.
I mean, it does and it doesn't. I think Bill Clinton actually did a lot of good in that region and actually brought some stability to that region for a while. Bill Clinton actually did brought some. Bill Clinton, yeah, you think he did. He actually brought stability to Northern Ireland too. He actually got the IRA and. Yeah, I know it's in the 90s. You won't remember, but terrorist attacks in Northern Ireland were not something that was unheard of like they are today. In the 90s, Bill Clinton actually got.
No, I'm not talking about Bill. I'm okay with Bill Clinton trying to help do negotiations, but Putin is a dictator who is killed his opposition, and prisons the people that disagree with him. He's been in office now, election after election after election. Basically,
sucks.
Democracy.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like who's in office? Really? Fantastic. Thank you for voting.
I would venture to bet, even if you had what was called like a perfectly free election, he would probably still win. Would it be by the same margins? I don't know, but I would be hard pressed to see an opposition candidate come and resoundingly defeat him. But I'm not saying it's completely outside the realm of possibility. He's over there, right?
It is illegal to have. It is also illegal to have a party that is anti-war in Russia. You cannot have an anti-war stance and run for election.
Is it?
Yes.
It's almost like how it is over here.
What?
You have a very hard time running without if you're a non.
As an anti-war?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's lots of anti-war candidates. Bernie Sanders, very popular.
Well, not we'll allow enough of them to have token representation, but not enough to actually sway Congress, or where we would not give money to the military-industrial complex. That would be unthinkable for us not to be giving trillions of dollars to them. But we'll allow a few token people to sit off to the side and complain. Bernie Sanders, Barbara Lee, we'll allow them, but absolutely.
And we're not poisoning them like they are doing in Russia.
Poisoning? Oh. Poison.
But also sending love. We got raided. I'm not sure who we got raided to. It was Mark Reid. Sending love to Mark. Mark was just debating, right? I like to think of him.
Show for the debate, yeah.
And all of us here as master debaters.
Islam debate.
Well, then I know who won that. Congratulations, Mark.
Go figure.
Oh, Islam. We were just talking about that. It's just very silly.
Were we?
We were talking about the ant. That's still my favorite chapter. I will forever. Because it's just one that's so tangible and undefendable. There's nothing there. You can't show me. They like show me pictures of the moon where there's like a gash or something. You can't like show me a picture of an ant and be like, see right there with the little antenna. That's how they speak to us. At least I've never seen someone. I guess I'm waiting for that one Muslim. I love all the miracles in the specific religions. They all got a shtick.
Well, don't you know, Amy? Some of them have even memorized the whole Quran. They can recite it from memory.
Oh, I hate that argument. It's such a silly argument. The Jews used to recite all of the Torah by heart. And then they're like, we think we're going to lose this because we're at war. And so we're going to write shit down. But then fundies were born. So, but they memorized it to tell it. They didn't memorize it to go, hey, I memorized it, therefore it's true.
Do I get a gold star? Do I get a certificate? Like little Bobby memorized the Quran today in after school care. Yay! Allah Akbar, Assalamu Alaikum.
My favorite is just Allah Snack Bar, and yet I have no follow-up to it. I need to come up with more. Allah Snack Bar. Get a Snickers. I just like the way it sounds. You probably get a good chicken kebab.
Right. Are we going to get the video going? Because I'm on limited time.
Oh, you have to go at...
I'll push it till like 2:30.
Till like 2:30. That's okay. The video isn't that long.
Short. It's short.
Yeah. Indeedy. Yes, I'm sure it was a fun debate. After show was fun too. All right, sending so much love not only to Modern Day Debate, which you should all check out, Mark Reid as well. And all right, I'm gonna give. Ala, you angry here? Offers you a Snickers.
James Coons is gay.
Oh my goodness! You know who is? James, why can't you just let a man do it? It's a man's job. He's not around as much as anymore.
No, he's not. Why would you not have a woman do that? She doesn't even have a dick to know what it's like.
Exactly.
Yes,
no feeling.
Amy will rate your dick sucking abilities. You can have a competition with Mr. Batman, and she can grade you guys on how which one of you guys does a better job.
All right. After having both of you go down on me, I have decided that both of you are 8 out of 8. Rate great.
Well, that's bullshit. I'm a 10.
That's right.
Excuse me, sir. I will not be told I'm only an 8. I am a glory hole sensation, sir.
I will not be told I'm an 8.
I make them come faster than you.
That's always their thing. That is the only two things. I'll continue. That's the one last thing I'll get before I go into the monologue. Ladies and gentlemen, we here at the Skeptic and Ranting community are paid by Soros. Very specifically, we need to talk about the LGBTQ or women or minorities at least every so often, or we don't get a paycheck. So it is with great pleasure that I welcome the 2 reasons why you're anti-LGBTQ. All right. Number 1, you are religious. All right. Religion tends to just make you with the whole Abrahamic thing. Number 2, they did like the whole killing us thing, but it's got watered down or some shit to now they're like, oh, now we're just going to be upset about it. And books, we're going to just ban books. And number 2, you're in the closet. Now, there is some variety. You can be both religious and in the closet. I'm sending so much love to everyone out there. If you think I'm wrong, though,
that's what I was going to say about those
who
are both in the closet and self-hating. They think they're an abomination to God, but they can't stop doing it.
We call those the categories of Mr. Batman. Or what is that boy? The British guy? Milo, exactly. I am now a heterosexual.
Hetero. I have had 13 sodomy-free days. Would you believe that?
We have them on a chart. I
count the days, right? I mean, that's like a meth addict trying to count how many days it's been since they smoked meth. That's I'm doing good. It's been like 4 days since I did.
But I swear, a lot of these guys, and it tends to be guys, they like have a quasi relationship with God. They're like it's this father figure. And that's not true. Women also can be very, very religious statistically. But I'm just saying, the men and the father figure thing, there's something there.
Ultimated took his comedy show down. I haven't really seen hide or hair of him lately.
You haven't seen Ultimated lately. Maybe they got a house and they settled down. That'd be adorable. Just him and God.
God is going down on me right now.
Well, he smokes a pipe.
As I am talking here.
In fact, for those of you new to the show, we have, I would say it's not a trifecta, but we have both sides of the coin. We have both someone who said they had sex with God and sex with Satan. And thus, that gives us hope that we can have a threesome. Guess that would be a foursome.
Can't have
We bring
6
them
with
all
Satan.
along.
He doesn't even have a penis.
Oh my goodness, James.
That's Baphomet.
Would Satan have a penis?
No, that's Baphomet.
That's That's right. They're gonna have
A hermaphrodite.
Did you know that leeches are hermaphrodites? I don't know why. James is like, you know what, lady? I just that's okay. I'll be at the back of the bus. But yes, they are hermaphrodites. They gain both sets of organs.
Ken Holen he used to, I don't know if he still does. Like he used to ask for money. Like if you want to donate to our Sunday lunch fund after church, we take the whole crew to this Chinese buffet, and we all have Chinese food. It costs quite a bit of money, you know, to take everybody there. So if you wanna pitch in, go ahead, right down there. You can donate, buy my DVDs.
You can go to 1-800-I-don't-pay-my-taxes.com. Kent. But okay.
Oh, we got Amy Newman here, a hermaphrodite herself.
What's even going on there? James, even my junk is confused. It's sad.
Yeah, I think we know why.
I'd say it's all that TV. Probably. Anyway. All right. But also, sending love real quickly because I see them in chat. What is up? Beheaded, Kamikaze, Left-Handed Jedi, GG, or JJ, Max, Damien. If I get your name wrong, just tell me because I sometimes do that, and I love you all. Andrew. The Freak, what's up, The Freak? And NetTube user, keep on saying, praise I am. Oh, I mean, Big Bad Mama. What's up, Big Bad Mama? Scullery.
That slander of Matt Powell.
Pragmatic Crystal, Al Tucker.
She tried to give Matt Powell a blowjob.
Martin. I also think that Matt and Kent, they must have been doing something down there.
Some kind of untoward relationship. Pacifier diaper play.
But then they broke up.
Oh, Matt. Oh, that's a big one down here, boy. You're going to need a new diaper down there. Ooh, stinky boy, Matt. I had a burrito last night.
Oh, yeah. Kent. He did gravity experiments on his wife.
I looked outside and I saw a bunch of chipmunks in the trees, and I would notice that the chipmunks would only have sex with chipmunks of the opposite sex. I never saw them try to have sex with a squirrel or a cat or a possum or a turkey.
And he looks at lots of them having sex. So
yes. I've seen over 47 hours of chipmunks mating. It's always been with other chipmunks. Man might not know what kind of animal they are, but the animal knows. They know what kind.
I love the word kind. But okay, we're gonna get to it because like you said, we only have so much. So with that, Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles, because nothing truly says I'm a man of the people like collecting a bunch of public domain documents, shoving them inside a KJV Bible, and licensing God Bless the USA from Lee Greenwald. As he tries to channel the spirit of Ronald Reagan's corpse. all for the low price of $60, which is how much a back alley abortion costs in Alabama. What a steal! That is to say, the man is trying to steal from poor people. I'm fairly sure that's what Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Oh, however, blessed are those who have enough money to pay off hush money payments to a porn star. Huh. It's a weird translation. A different kind of kingdom of heaven, probably. So, from the man who said he was citing 2 Corinthians, we finally have the grift of Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. Thus, as close to the man coming to selling nothing as physically possible. Because that's what the invisible product in the sky is. Only now we're sold a book by a man who most definitely has never read the book. Order now. Thank you. All right. Sending so much love.
On the other hand, you can be thankful for Joe Biden that all your credit card company bills come from Delaware, because he made sure to carve them out laws that let them do whatever they want.
Are you going to take the debate on MDD?
No.
I can feel it.
No, I don't think so. No, I honestly, I just wish, because the sad thing is if it wasn't Trump who was the nominee, right, Biden would actually have to come out and say what he's going to do to help people, to make things better. Like all the prices that have gone up. Has there been any talk about raising the minimum? No, they're not talking. They're not a peep about raising the minimum wage, anything like that. Helping, because they don't have to. They don't have to, because they just get to run against Trump.
See, but that is hammering him from the other side of a liberal position. But it is his. And I know he's not. That we always go Godwin's law. That's not who he is. However, he would give over to those people if he thought he could make $1. But he is, in my opinion, as close as a person as we can get to a comet, just because of his chaos, just because of the not caring. And for that reason, you're right. I actually like Joe Biden. I think that he has a lot of flaws. He may be too old, but so is the guy that's also running. We may probably need younger people running. But in this election, to me, it is just about moral character. It is just about who is a more decent human being, because that's who they surround themselves with. And I know that he'll surround themselves with sycophants. And it's not about being anti-Republican or anti-conservative. Mitt Romney's a weird guy. Mormonism is just whatever. I'd feel comfortable with him being in office, because I don't think that he'd do terrible things. Like, I think he'd do things that I may disagree with, but they wouldn't be like country shaking. And so it is. I want a weird sort of calm, and I'm okay.
So the other side, though, they made a calculated decision, and they decided that they would rather have a Donald Trump presidency than risk having a Bernie Sanders presidency. So they tanked his campaign. They stacked the deck. They let Hillary Clinton. They gave Hillary Clinton the nomination, even though so many people didn't like her. And they said, "Fine, whatever. We'd rather have Donald Trump than a Sanders presidency." And yeah, that's what they got.
Okay, but then they eventually beat him. And so all I would like to do, because yes, he won. I didn't say it in my opening. I kept it out. I almost put it in. I have to mention it once a podcast. There's a few things I have to mention once a podcast. But I have epilepsy. And I formed my epilepsy around the same time that Donald Trump was president. I think 2018. Don't quote me on that. And so I had to be asked questions. I passed I'm just a genius as he is. I passed the cognitive test multiple times. Every time you come out of a seizure, you have to pass it. And they ask you questions like, who is president? And I had to go to a doctor. I make the same joke every time. I go, can I say someone else? And you could just think I'm crazy. You have to say...
Gigi, that's exactly what I said to Amy last time. I said, like, can you imagine, like, the fact that all that's happened and the fact that he is even still competitive? It's crazy, right? It is crazy that the polls are even competitive. I do think Biden will win in the end, but the fact that right now it's even, like, close is amazing. Like, Biden should be 20, 30 points ahead. And the fact that he's not really just, this is like on easy mode. This is playing the game on easy mode. You can't lose. And for some reason,
they said that to Hillary when she was up against Trump.
And it's her fault that she lost because it was on easy mode. It was on easy mode. She barely had to have a pulse to win, and she couldn't do it. She could not do it.
Well, it is up to the American people. But I honestly, it is about a con artist, someone who believes in nothing. And when I hear the reasons that they give me for supporting him, they are almost all... It's not like they say immigration and I am against immigration. They say things that are just, I disagree with because I don't think they're true. Like, they say that he's a truth. They tells them like it is. Don't you just get it? We're just sick of people sick of these politicians lying to us. Okay, but the reason I dislike him is because he lies about mundane things that don't even have to do about politics. He just can't help himself. He drew on a weather map with a Sharpie and thought that we would get away with it. I don't even understand.
And these are like things, though, that they only would point out with Donald Trump. But
no, they would. Well, no one else would be that dumb. Like, that is something that I think the last George Bush would have been like.
Which they're against Trump. They're not for Trump.
Yeah, no. The teams are there is only two teams. It's not conservative or liberal. It is, are you for this asshole or not? Unfortunately, he's got the election. He's a coward for not going to the primary debates. And every time I say that he's a coward, they go, well, why would he have to go to the primary debates? He's got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
The point is, you're supposed to debate your opponents. There's always one that is in the lead, and that you have to defend yourself against other people. That's the entire point. If you can't do that, it's probably because you defending yourself. You probably don't have very good opinion.
Now, on the other side of that, in 2020, Joe Biden spent most of his election at home in the basement. He really wasn't going out saying a lot because it was Trump's election to lose, right? He just let the media do the work for him. And him speaking, the only risk would be that he would say something, do a gaffe, or say something that would make him look bad. So I mean, that's just a political calculus that, I'm on top. I don't have to, I can only hurt myself by going out and speaking. So why do it? I just let my opponent keep themselves up.
But I would still say that's fine. I agree. You only have ground to lose. You are a coward for doing so. You will not do what others have done before you. You won't do what I think that you should give, which is you should be able to give your views among the other town hall people there. And now he wants to do it with Joe. But if Joe says he has nothing to lose, couldn't Joe just give the exact same reason? Say, well, I have nothing to lose.
I think that's why he did not really campaign last time.
Well, no, I mean, I imagine there eventually will be debates, but I just think that, so he's not, he's just saying, you are the greatest. Well, that's the other thing. I do think another thing is that he is a beta bitch. Like, he's a little bitch. He gets things get under his skin. He lets everything get personal. He holds grudges. And
comes up with silly names for people.
Yeah, and he can't come up with one for Joe for some reason. He's doing Crooked Joe, but that's
Sleepy Joe last time, right?
I guess Sleepy, but he tries to use Crooked. But Crooked was what he used for Hillary. Biden should avoid the debate. No, why? I honestly think that Trump is not a good debater. There's a reason why he avoided the debates, and so I think Biden should do the debate. I don't know if he will. I think he should. That is what we expect of our contenders. Maybe this is just the debate community that we have around here, but
I'd like to see some debates, whether they'll happen or not.
Public speaker. He's often a bullshit artist. He's sometimes entertaining because he works like a comedian. He'll test an audience.
He is entertaining. He plays works the audience.
Yeah, he tests the crowd. He'll see if something gets a laugh, and then so he'll go off of that. And he wants to be liked, and so he's a very ironically politically correct comedian. He will change his opinions if the audience changes. And the only time he gets concrete views is when he gets an audience, or not an audience, a staff. Because then the staff start doing things and start being his views. But yeah, silliness and attention. It does work like a comedian. Let's watch it. Let's get to it. Enough See, and I think they're both gaffers. I think almost all of the stuff that Trump has, the bad stuff about Trump, you can almost say exactly about each other. Like the same things. Like
it doesn't
he makes
sound
gaffes.
Like a gaff.
He's old.
Does it sound like a gaff when Trump does it because he says off the wall stuff? So kind of just.
Well, he also has what I call the creationist mentality: is saying stupid things confidently. And people, especially if you want to believe, clowns are entertaining. Hello, world. What's up, Command Cyborg? All right, I'm going to bring it up. Took me a while to find the full version because the news media just did lots of snippets, but we have found a use, ladies and gentlemen. What news organization do you think has a lovely, nice, clean, full copy of an ad for us to enjoy? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fox News. does present, as they say, he is. I have to give him that. He won. I did. That's the other thing that I'm not a fan of denialism, because denialism never helps. It you can't help the situation. You can become the rebel side, just never deny the situation.
You're taking the position that he actually won the 2016 election.
Of course he won.
That's amazing.
Honestly, bad things happen in this country. You know, slavery happened. We made Chinese individuals, unfortunately, murder themselves while making railroads, and a bunch of Americans, I almost said dumb Americans. I hate insulting, because insulting turns people away. I'm okay with insulting him. He's lived a very spoiled, coddled life. He is the coastal elite they think that they hate. It's that what kills me on the inside is that he is like the mega church. What are the seed gospel? We talk about them all the time on here. Prosperity gospel people. He is that type of guy, incarnate, just probably not religious. He'll just sell you anything. He'd sell you his own jacket and tell you that it was from his grandma, and you would look on the back of it and it would come from like the Men's Warehouse 2022. Whatever. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. We are watching Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. Tell me if the sound's good. Tag us at James W. or Amy Newman, or send in a lovely super chat. And either way, all three of those, we're getting it started.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend, Lee Greenwood. Who doesn't love his song, God?
Lee Greenwood, by the way, just aside, as davegar, I believe, lovingly pointed out, this is where this all started. He had a deal with him, and it's almost like a modified version. Now that I think of it, this is what Trump does. And then he puts his name on it.
God Bless the USA, in connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. This Bible is the King James Version and also includes our founding father documents. Yes, the Constitution.
James got summoned by Satan. We have a timeshare there where we sell condos. But yes, he's taken the King James Version, and then he's going to take a bunch of our founding documents, which are now public domain, and then he has like a contract with this one songwriter that he can instead put his name over,
which I'm fighting for every single day, very hard, to keep Americans protected. Also, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance are all part of this.
Just the Pledge of Allegiance. It's just so funny.
God Bless the USA Bible, and it's just very important and very important to me. I want to have a lot of people have it. You have to have it for your heart, for your soul. Many of you have never read them and don't know the liberties and rights you have.
Right here. Here is one who has never read one.
As Americans, and how you are being threatened to lose those rights. It's happening all the time. It's a very sad thing that's going on in our country, but we're going to get it turned around. Religion and Christianity are the biggest things missing from this country.
Oh, yeah, that's what we
believe that we need to bring them back, and we have to bring them back fast. I think it's one of
Where did they go?
Biggest problems we have. That's why our country is going haywire. We've lost
religion. Oh, yes. The problems in our country is we don't have enough Christianity
in our country. All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many.
You read them.
It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book.
Okay, that's got to be one of my favorite parts of this. Is he's saying it's like saying this is his favorite wine when James pointed out that he doesn't drink alcohol.
Book, This Bible is a reminder that the biggest thing we have to bring back America and to make America great again is our religion. Religion is so important. It's so missing, but it's going to come back, and it's going to come back strong, just like our country is going to come back strong. In the end, we do not answer to bureaucrats in Washington. We answer to God in
Coming from someone who wants to be a bureaucrat in Washington. Okay.
heaven. Christians are under siege. We
Are
must
they,
protect
though?
content that is pro-God. We love God.
It's protected. They give it away for free. In fact, there's only kind of one dude trying to sell it.
And we have to
He's trying to
protect
be an elected leader, not
anything that is
a bureaucrat. But close enough, yeah.
Trying to be a what?
An elected leader, not a bureaucrats are unelected. So bureaucrats are people who are like hired to work in the government, like at the DMV. They're not elected. But, yeah. Anyway, he's trying to be our Christianity in chief proselytizer. That's for sure.
Once again, he is tying himself to the Christian right.
I mean, that's all we need. That's one thing we need most in America is more Christianity. I mean, how that pays your bills, puts your kids through college, gets you into retirement. Well, it doesn't, but they don't care about that.
And what's your over under, James? He's read any of the things that are in that book. I'll take the KJV. I will take the Declaration of Independence. He's got to know the Pledge of Allegiance, right? So there's that.
I think he might have read part of it. Honestly, how many Christians have read the whole Bible? Probably not very many, but I mean, he might have read pieces here and there. That's what they usually do.
Oh, God. We must defend God in the public square and not allow the media.
It sounded like he said we must defend God, but he was saying we must defend God. Why does God need to be defended in the public square? What's up, IDG? We think that this is pretty ridiculous. The fact that I am actually shocked that it's not. This book here is not on fire, and I'm putting that as Exhibit A, is why God doesn't exist. Tonight, anyway. I have other exhibits, but...
The left-wing groups to silence, censor, or discriminate against us. We have to bring Christianity back into our lives and back into what will be, again, a great nation. Our founding fathers did a tremendous thing when they built America on Judeo-Christian values.
They didn't. They were deists. Our founding fathers did not believe in the same type of God. They believed in a non-interactive God. And then the Puritans just had more babies.
That foundation is under attack, perhaps as never before.
By who? Starbucks? Oh no, they're getting a holiday cup instead of Merry Christmas. How am I going to enjoy my caramel frappuccino?
What can we do? Stand up, speak out, and pray that God will bless America again.
Pray. Also, come on, James. This is what I mean by the speechwriter. There's no way that he would say that. You can tell when he goes off a little script. Every once in a while, he says like a blurb.
He's got a teleprompter, yeah.
I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get this Bible. We must make America pray again.
Oh. Sorry.
Pray, get educated, get motivated, and stand with me and the legions of Americans asking God to bless our great nation, to bring our great nation back, and to make America great again. Yeah. I'm proud to partner with Lee in this offering. He's a very special man, both as a talent, but maybe even more so as a human being. He's very
close to him giving credit for what basically Trump is absorbing and now calling his own. Because I don't think that Trump actually adds anything to this Bible. It is a Bible that was sold. Not even the cramming everything together is new. he's just selling this version as the Trump version, $60. Fantastic. It's almost over. He's long as this. So we're coming in at the end. Though I'm just glad we get at least the full version of his. Oh, James got summoned by Satan again. This is at least the full version of this. Like I said, there was lots of other clips of it on the news stations, but
special. And I think you all should.
there it is, boys and girls. What a lovely version of basically Christian fascism put together. Order now.
Should get a copy of God Bless the USA Bible now and help spread our Christian values with others.
USA.
There you have it.
What a shtick.
Let's make America pray again. God bless you and God bless the USA.
I like that God bless you because you could tell how not used to he was saying it in like a religious context. God bless you. I mean, whatever it is you people say. And good tight to everyone. Oh my goodness. I know. Funny thing is it has to be, why does it have to be $60? Because that's too close to like, we make the joke about but he could have chosen any other number. Once again, I'm not into that numerology stuff. I always love the ones that come on, the theists that like have put it all together. If you put 14 and 18 and 27 together and you minus 3, and then you realize that Jesus was the 3, then you figure out that God wanted French fries all along. And you're like, all right, I'm sure. The source for that is cocaine, I guess, and the Bible put together. Long nights. But yes, we just witnessed. I don't know what was actually. I don't think it was first put on Fox News. I just think, that's as close as his propaganda network as he has right now. So it makes sense that they would showcase the full sales pitch. But my goodness. I will possibly open it up in a second to see if anyone would like to join the open mic. And we'll give at least a 30-minute skeptic open mic. And of course, my goodness, if a creationist comes on, who knows how long the party can go. But I'll start. I'll even type it because I always think that the type is even better, a little bit better than me just typing into, or you just hearing no sound at all. So, capitals. Don't you hate when that happens? You hit your password wrong again. Come join the panel at, here's the link. I see James is back. And so we'll probably go for as long as he is able to stay on, plus or minus if you're a young Earth creationist. But there we go. We'll pin it. And if not, then we will also tuck out and send love. But, James, what do you think about a politician and a businessman selling a Bible?
Pandering for money. I mean, it's, yeah. Unfortunately, politicians, they rely on money. That's what they need to win campaigns. So I wish it wasn't that way.
Sure. And I mean, look, not against the market. I am okay with people having property on I just think that it's the product that doesn't exist. It has no accountability. They can threaten us with death, and yet there's no one, apparently no meter that I can tell that can say, yes, Bobby now is in hell. And so they threaten us with things.
Well, you'll find out when you get there, right?
When you'll get there. Exactly. Great. When we're dead. Dun, dun, dun. We do need more live hookers. Sending love to the TOS. And listen, I hope, I don't wish harm on anybody. I hope that this former president retires, hawk stuff wherever he wants, and, well, I'm hoping goes away into oblivion. I'm sure he'll always have his little shtick with a group of people, but I want to go back to politics being boring again. I'm not a fan of reality TV presidents who want attention. And look, I get it. I'm staring at a TV. I'm staring into a screen right now, going, attention, attention.
I mean, we get politics back to just figuring out how we get more money in the wealth accounts, bank accounts of the wealthy. That's what the whole thing is for, right? Just focus on that, get them the money, and then it'll trickle down to the rest of us, right? I mean, that's what the political system has done for the past, 50 years.
Yeah, well, we all know that it ain't trickling down. I think I'm trying to remember how Carlin puts it. The rich have all the money, pay very little in taxes. The middle class have a little bit of money and pay all of the taxes. And the poor are just there to scare the shit out of the middle class. I can't do it as well as Carlin did. Please go check out Carlin. And politics should be boring, administrative. Exactly. I'm just not a fan of the... when I look at Idiocracy and I say, I think Camacho would have more of a heart than the person, I would vote for Camacho over Trump. Isn't that... I don't know what timeline I'm in anymore when I say that. That
Camacho might be better than Biden.
Well, once again, it's about... Well, I don't know. I still like some of the... We had a trifecta for a while. The stock market... Oh, where the stock market is going up and down right now, but it was doing really well. We had a high GDP. We have a high GDP, low unemployment, high employment. We have a fairly good economy. There's world inflation right now, and so unfortunately, it's how well are we handling inflation?
I mean, we're kicking the can down the road on serious problems that we need to be addressing because we have to wait for the baby boomers to die. So, I mean, yeah.
All right, James, how long do you have?
A few minutes. Yeah, at least 10 to 15 minutes.
All right. Well, that is how long we're going in for an open mic. We are opening it up and bringing in Max. Our Skeptic and Rantings tend to be shorter open mics anyway, though we're going to get some midnight rantings, some Bible studies. I also, James, I have a new idea of it's an old idea, but I tested it lately. I want to do how should I say this? A what is this called? A StreamYard, not just a StreamYard, a streaming version of the SNL joke model. And the picture may be bigger. It may be screen share. It may look like this instead of like, you know, how they have it may be the picture here while us over here do the roasting, but which looks a little bit different from what you're used to on the Daily Show or, you know, the Colbert Report or Weekend Update. However, I still think we can get the same effect. I don't know. Something I've been thinking about lately. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's go into our Skeptic and Ranting open mic on Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles? Oh, wrong one. Gizmo's going to bop me on the head for that. Welcome, Max. We are Skeptic and Ranting on Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
Really well. It's I came in late because I was over at Mark's channel. We were doing the after show after the debate. But I came in because I wanted to ask you if you had discussed like his long line of grift.
He is unfortunately Trump steaks and the Trump wine, a Trump casino. Who bankrupts a casino?
And the latest one, the NFTs, the golden shoes.
Oh my goodness. the $300 shoes?
Yeah. Okay, let me download my... Sorry, I lowered my volume a little. Someone's... yeah, but it's weird to sell a Bible in that kind of... I don't know. It sounds really weird to me.
A little bit.
But
I'll keep on saying it's very odd to take a whole bunch of free things and be like, guess what I got for you?
I mean, just where there's a niche to exploit, somebody's going to do it.
Oh, sure.
If people are willing to buy something and pay exorbitant price for something, somebody's going to be there to sell it to them.
Oh, come on. It's the book of the invisible product. It's free. It's the free book that's selling nothing, and he's charging for it.
How much does a regular Bible cost in like a bookstore?
I mean, first of all,
you probably get one for like $5 or less.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a weird culture. First of all, that in our hotels, because of an initiative by different groups in our in the different states, they put Bibles in every hotel bedroom within our motels.
Except the ones that Amy Newman was operating out of.
Yes, well, I used to go around and travel for who knows what, and then I would collect the Bibles, and so I had at one point a decent amount. But yes, you can find them anywhere from like a dollar store Bible to like a $5 one, all the way to like fancy ones. But
hundreds of dollars, yeah.
Yes, but they would be like Bibles, but that would be because of what they're made out of, not because of like I don't know. It's just very weird.
Like wrapped in human skin.
Like this hardcover, I'm pretty sure was 20 to 30, and it's very nice. And you know, it has it's the KJV version, but it has the skeptics annotations at the side. So basically, someone went around and tried to write what they're saying in clear English. Or whatever language.
Stupid. They just made it sound stupid. They didn't try to make it sound not stupid.
So the price is super inflated, right?
Yes, probably 3 times as much.
Okay.
So I say it's a donation. It's basically you're giving money to his campaign, and you're getting
Right.
a little Bible on the side with it. Whatever.
It's a way to circumvent those donation laws and stuff. That way, taking a page out of
It's also
Santos book.
to use a word that they love to use on everything else. It's virtue signaling. Here he is going, do you know how much I love the Bible? I love the Bible so much. I
love
sell you one. Exactly.
You're a Christian. I'm a Christian. I love Christian. We need more Christianity.
I got mine here. This one is in Spanish though. That's why it says La Biblia.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Latin American version.
I'm trying to think of jokes because just the nature of who Trump is and trying to come across a Spanish Bible might actually make his head explode.
Yes. It's get the Mexican Bible out of here.
We're going to build a wall.
We all know that below the U.S. it's all Mexico.
Yes, that is it's Mexico 1, and then they have very thin Mexico and very big Mexico. Lots
Portuguese
of
Mexico.
Yes, Portuguese.
Yeah, we all know. I that's a common thing. We all know that from the U.S. down, it's all Mexico pretty much until Antarctica.
Which, if we're a flat earther, remember, we're not allowed to go down there.
Of course, obviously. That's one thing we do a lot is talk to flat earthers, and it's baffling.
And they're almost always religious for whatever reason.
Yes, there's a big the Venn diagram of flat earth and religion is almost like two concentric circles.
Yes, basically. It's like the eclipse that we just saw and unfortunately lost a lot of eyeballs. We should mourn all the eyeballs we lost for people just going like this.
That's right.
It's I don't know. The idea of Trump actually being religious sounds like so implausible, because I remember the time he grabbed the Bible upside down.
Well, that is, if I could just, and I feel bad, I've been interrupting, but that is, I could have used him holding the Bible that he's selling, but the Bible that he's selling is actually, I want to say lame, but for $60. But the Bible that I have that in the title card is totally him holding the Bible like this.
She
and
doesn't
he's
have
just
the
like
stamina.
right here. This is my favorite book. I read this book all the time.
You need tremendous stamina. The stamina.
I'm sorry, I beat you to the punchline. I knew that's exactly what you were saying. That's why I said it.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. But I find it very implausible because I saw someone made a compilation of some reporter asking him what's your favorite passage of the Bible and that kind of stuff, and he couldn't answer.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he said all of them, and then they tried to narrow it. He did, and then when he asked them to try and narrow it down to whether he likes the Old or the New Testament, I'm pretty sure he said, "I like both of them," or I almost think he said, "I like all of them," but I'm pretty sure he said something like, I like both of them. So, once again, that's why I call him the ultimate politically correct candidate. Like, he sounds like he is someone who did their book report at 3 a.m. Like, the King of France was 100% the King of France. And please submit.
Yeah, but he did the book report, but watching the movie, he didn't read the book.
Yes, well, he tried to cheat on someone who used the Cliff Notes version themselves. So, the King Jimmy Bible, yes, but it is the KJV. It's just the KJV, and then he took the King James W Bible, and then he took the Declaration of Independence and that frickin' song, "God Bless America." And then he just is now selling it. Fake
It's
news.
funny because the American, he said the God bless America. He gave like an American title to that Bible, which is British, and that is so ironic.
Listen, if you think that he has read that Bible, you are sorely mistaken.
No, obviously not. It's too long. No,
He needs a picture or some
You could
pop-ups.
read much more interesting things like Batman, Superman.
I wonder if he's the one that he uses, if it's illustrated.
I imagine so.
Hopefully.
Oh my goodness, what a weird time to be in. They're even going after they're going after the Mike Johnson guy, even though he is very right wing. And I know that's like probably too American centered. I know our American politics is like a reality TV show. It really is. I want normal, boring. It almost sounds conservative, doesn't it? Kinda. Yeah, he said 2 Corinthians. That's the other thing.
Yeah, American politics has been getting progressively weirder. As a non-American who kind of I need to keep an eye out on America because I work for a US company. So some of these things affect me.
You're like, come on, US, don't fall. I need a job, goddammit.
Yes. It's like I need to keep an eye out to make sure that everything doesn't go to hell. So I need to keep my job, you know. But it's been getting progressively more surreal with the years.
You have to speak English.
Also, there's only one fake news. I stand by it. Norm Macdonald will point out he was the fake news, which is the SNL, the Daily Show, the Onion. That is what fake news is. The only true fake news.
You are fake news.
Because when you try and make it to news you just like, it makes it meaningless, that word. But yeah, Max, probably in a second, we're gonna go into outros. I know it was just a short open mic, but it was fun having you on. And this guy is crazy. What era of politics are you romanticizing and want back? None. None. I want to keep on. I that is an interesting question because we do romanticize things, and we oftentimes we enjoy certain aspects. We always the example is like the 50s, but then we forget about segregation that was going on at the exact same time, and so I don't criticize history in certain ways because it's easy for me to do so now with the information that I have. I know that I would be anti. The one thing I think, or I like to think, is I would have been anti-slavery no matter what you put me in, no matter what time period. Maybe just because I'm a northern yuppie and I just feel that. But I get why in history people believe the things that they did, and I'm not trying to.
Well, I mean, come on, Amy. So you've already came out and admitted that you're a hypocrite on the veganism thing, but you still eat meat. So I think maybe maybe it would have been like, well, and there were a lot of people. It's not that they liked slavery or that they were gun ho and thought it was. Most of them thought though it was like a necessary evil. It's always been. It's always going to need to be. There just needs to be this labor force that we can pull to, and we don't like it. It sucks to be them, but we just kind of. It's not going
It'll
away.
get complicated as AI and machinery makes things more complicated, more easy and harder for us at the same time.
What about when AI starts making moral decisions that we find repugnant? And
well,
what do we do? Just go in and reprogram it and say, you can't say that.
Well, that's a whole different. I could talk about AI all day. Before I do that, though, I get what you mean, Sven. I would say, and I have a split line, and that's anyone who's not Trump. Trump makes our everyone else has been an actual politician. And if they're religious, they've generally been religious. And if they're a liberal and they're a hippie, they've generally been a liberal and a hippie. This has been a rare time. He's not the only one. I'm not saying it. Reagan had a little bit of this type of thing. However, the reason that he is this way is because of The Apprentice, okay? He has this power over people because celebrity has more power in this country than anything else. The only thing stronger than celebrity in this country is a woman's beauty. I'm just starting to get into Chris Rock material here because but celebrity is the most important thing in this country, and thus it's all the news media wants to cover. It's all the people care about, and they will vote for someone that they know before someone that they don't. And so you're just not interesting at a group of old GOP people. You're just not entertaining to listen to, which is not what politics is supposed to be. And so an entertainer is running, and he's an entertainer that will give whoever enables him whatever they want. I think Trump could have run as a liberal, and maybe I'd be saying, I hope that I have the exact same criticisms that I'd be giving for him now. The being a little bitch, suing comedians, the being petty, vindictive, going after children and family. They care. That's all they seem to care about, is protect the women and children.
But protect
women's sports from these trannies coming to take over. That's what we care about.
Exactly. That's all they seem to care about. Number one priority. Sorry, go Max.
No problem. Protect them until they're born. After they're born, they'll fuck them.
They can go themselves. Yes.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the other side hasn't been a whole lot better. They've been better, but not a whole lot better. Unfortunately.
Listen, once I stand by it. Once we go back to that federal level, I am all for trying to work to lower abortion, because it's not about yay abortion. I don't think most of it. Well, the world in general and the country is a big place. There's always going to be crazy people, but generally speaking, it's a sad moment. It's a mistake, and it's something that they're just trying to come to terms with. It's something that has to be done with the mother, the doctor. I'm open to having the father be involved in the decision. I know guys want to say, what am I just being thrown away? I think that you should, it's ultimately, I still think it is her private property in that decision, but I'm open to us coming together and making intelligent decisions about,
One thing,
this banning is nonsense. Max, yes.
Here in Uruguay, one thing we did since 2013 that the law of abortion was passed, it was a comprehensive law. So if you want to get an abortion, you need to go through mandatory psychological support before and after. And then within the same law, they implemented broad access to contraception and also sexual education. So it ended up reducing abortions after a period of like 2 years where things kind of equalized. There was an increase, and then people started getting all those benefits, sexual education and the contraception. So after those 2 years of equalization, now abortions have been steadily going down. And the big problem here was that women were dying from back alley abortions like a lot. And that was what brought the topic into the table. And fortunately,
it doesn't stop all the women. It just makes many of them go underground.
Yeah. And fortunately, since 2013, no woman has died because of that, which is net positive. So you get abortions reduced, and also no women dying. That's a like win-win.
Win-win. But okay, on that note, speaking of win-win, I'm going to outro us and full screen us out. We are going to have some fun in the sun as we do our outros for our Skeptic and Ranting Donald Trump. How about you want to just go first, James? I'll send you first.
I'm just gonna say good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We'll do it. Hold on. Do-do-do-do-do. Woo. It's right. We get more gizmo. That's worth it. Oh, James, you're muted.
Gizmo, that's my shoulder under there, you know, right? Like, there is actual. I'm under there, boy. Yeah. Good night,
He's so
guys.
cute. And all right, James. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much. We have been Skeptic and Ranting on Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. James is heading off to bed. We are tucking him in, and then I'm going to hand it over to Max, and then we will fly on home. And all right, Max, we have been Skeptic and Ranting on Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I find it's all extremely weird, but lately politics in the US have been super surreal, and you never know what's going to happen next. It was fun. It's always fun to hang out with you. I only have the problem that it's kind of late when you usually stream. So I kind of only find you on the weekends. But now I made sure that YouTube gives me the notifications, because I was subscribed, but YouTube just felt like not notifying me. But I fixed that. So thank you for having me. You can find me on at Matters Now, and I'll be back sometime.
Thanks,
Take
man.
care. Thank you.
Can you get me that link and I'll send it in chat while I am doing my thing. And all right, with that, I hope that you all had a fun time on this episode of Skeptic and Ranting. Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles. That's right, where we watched a video from Fox News. At least that's where we got it from. It probably was posted on his website or something. Where we did indeed watch former President Donald Trump. I had to say it during my epilepsy. You can't be in denial. Former President Donald Trump selling God Bless the USA Bibles, where we had a good time. We had a time so good, it was wrapped in the flag and carrying a deep fried cross. However, I'm also going to send his matters now. Boom. Go check out Max's channel. It's on the screen. YouTube.com @MattersNow. And all right, I do want to thank my co-host James W. along with our panel Max. Woohoo! Along with all of the fantastic people in chat, our mods who make this stream so great, and lovely viewers like you who make this channel even possible. Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. I said it. The bomb didn't go off, right? Like, follow, subscribe. Keep on. Anyway, or why not hit that bell icon to all that, just like Max was saying, that's how, because what happens is when you first subscribe to a channel, it goes, okay, let's see if you like this. We're going to let you taste it. And it sends you out content. And what will happen is it will see how obsessed you are about certain things. And if you basically, it's not your latest, most obsession, it has like a single video. That single video in your top left category That's like your most recent thing that you're obsessed about.
Mhm.
But what it loves to send you is everything on that bell icon. That bell icon set to all. That's your feed. Everything in like the mix of the yummy stuff.
For the freak, let me say surreal again. I don't know why he liked it, I guess.
What's he saying? I can't help myself now.
No, I think he asked me to say surreal again. There you have it. Twice. That's it.
Oh,
No more for you.
got some some spice on it. That's why. What was I saying? And lovely viewers subscribing, or hey, why not leave a comment once the video's done? James, why do some people have a straight voice?
Everybody's gay.
Oh, the questions we get asked by totally heterosexual people. Anyway, after the show, the Skeptic and Ranting Discord, you can find the link right below, boom, 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 along with our channel members who you can join by getting our evolving badge system right there. Boom, boom, boom. It actually works like Pokemon. Biological evolution does not work like Pokemon. A species will always give birth to the exact same species. It's only
but somehow they change over time. Dogs produce dogs, yet eventually you get something else. I don't know how they do it.
and you see that in artificial selection. You see how much we can change in just a. He's been told this.
Produce amoebas, but somehow the amoeba made the whales and the chipmunks, and yeah. But today they just make baby amoeba.
Amoebas is his worst nightmare, apparently, because there's amoebas in every species. It's not an actual species; it's a category.
And they found Tiktaalik, and they didn't find any good measurements of Tiktaalik's penis size, so we don't even know. We don't even know how big Tiktaalik's junk was, and
which is really the real measure that Kent has for things. We can't really know something until he knows the penis size. If you think about it,
this is a female Tiktaalik. We don't care about that. It doesn't have a dick. How do they make baby Tiktaaliks?
James, nature finds a way.
Tiktaalik, how they made baby the Tiktaalik found another Tiktaalik, and then they made baby Tiktaaliks. Tiktaalik didn't find a hamster and make babies with that. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure it gave birth to a scorpion. Gave birth to a shark. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
We got hamsters growing on corn stalks, because you're gonna say we're related to plants too, right, Amy?
James, do you think you're related to a banana? You read my exactly. That's.
You think you're related to plants too? Hamsters growing off corn stalks. There's crazy evolution theory. It's been in the schools.
It's dangerous.
Get back to good old biblical science. Yeah, biblical science.
I'm about to drown myself in the flood. Yes. Lastly, if you'd like to support us making even more content, please head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I'm Amy Newman. This is James W. and Max. And we hope you have a fantastic night. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, everyone. Mwah.